We begin today in Lafayette, where police say two men have been arrested in connection to the death of 18-year-old Gabriella Sharp.
A frantic phone call in the middle of the night. A young girl complaining she can't breathe. Her mother racing to a gas station only to find out she's seconds too late. Her daughter is already gone. This is the story of Gabriella Sharp, an 18-year-old girl whose life ended on the cold concrete of a Lafayette gas station, and a case that left an entire community asking one haunting question. What really happened that night? Before we dive in, if you're into cases like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to One Crime at a Time, and click that bell icon so you never miss an update. Trust me, you're going to want to stay for this one. Now, let's talk about Gabriella Sharp. To those who knew her, she wasn't just another teenager. She was the girl who could light up a room the second she walked in. Her family friend Haley Matthews said it best when she described Gabby as someone who had this incredible gift of making people feel beautiful. Imagine that. At just 18 years old, she had this natural ability to brighten someone's worst day with just her smile. She loved doing hair and makeup, and she had dreams. Big dreams. She wanted to become a beautician. She wanted to help people feel confident, help them see the beauty she saw in them. That's the kind of person Gabriella was. But here's where Gabby's story gets even more heartbreaking. She was the middle child in her family, with an older brother and a younger brother who had died from cancer at just 5 years old. Can you imagine the pain her mother had already endured? Losing one child to cancer, and now she was about to lose another. Her mother's Facebook post after Gabby's passing said it all. "My gorgeous girl, I can't put RIP. I don't know what to do or say. I love you forever and will miss you till I'm with you." Those words hit different when you know the context, don't they? Now, let's rewind to the night of November 1st, 2025. It's a Friday night in Lafayette, Louisiana. Gabby is out with her friends. They're downtown, doing what a lot of 18-year-olds do on a Friday night, having fun, hanging out, living life. According to police reports, there was drinking involved. There were substances involved. But here's the thing, this wasn't unusual for young people her age. They were just trying to have a good time. Nobody could have predicted how this night would end. While they're downtown, Gabby and her friend meet two guys. Caden Richard, 18 years old, and Jaquan Pierre, 19 years old. They hit it off, you know how it goes. They decide to continue the night, so they all head back to the guy's place. At this point, everything seems normal. It's just young people hanging out. But something happens at that residence. Something that nobody saw coming. While at the house, Gabby starts feeling off. Really off. According to reports from the police, she begins complaining about not feeling well. Her friends later told investigators that she said it felt like she was having a heart attack. Picture this for a second. You're 18 years old, you're supposed to be healthy, you're supposed to have your whole life ahead of you, and suddenly your chest starts tightening and you can't breathe properly. That must have been terrifying for her. Her friend immediately recognizes something is seriously wrong and makes a phone call. The call goes to Gabby's mother. It's around 3:30 in the morning at this point. Imagine being a mother and getting that call. The call that every parent dreads. Your daughter is sick, she's not feeling right, you need to come get her. Gabby's mom doesn't hesitate. She tells them she's on her way and asks them to meet her at the racetrack gas station on West Congress Street. It's closer, it's public, it makes sense as a meeting point. So everyone rushes to the gas station. Gabby's friend, the two guys, they're all trying to get her there to meet her mother. But here's where everything goes horribly wrong. By the time they get to that gas station, by the time they're under those bright fluorescent lights in the parking lot, Gabby is unresponsive. She's collapsed. She's not breathing right. Panic sets in. At 3:40 a.m., the call goes out to 911. Officers from the Lafayette Police Department rush to the racetrack in the 2400 block of West Congress Street. When they arrive, they find Gabby lying there, unresponsive. The officers immediately start trying to save her life. Paramedics arrive, and they're doing everything they can. CPR, medical interventions, everything in their training. But nothing works. At that gas station, under those lights, with her mother probably just minutes away, 18-year-old Gabriella Sharp is pronounced dead at the scene. Can you imagine what her mother felt when she pulled into that parking lot? She thought she was going to pick up her sick daughter and take her to the hospital. Instead, she arrived to find her daughter was already gone. Haley Matthews, the family friend, described it like this. She was going to meet them at the gas station to pick Gabriella up. When she got there, Gabriella was already gone. Those words, already gone, they carry so much weight. Now here's where this case takes a turn that nobody expected. Remember those two guys, Caden Richard and Jaquan Pierre? 3 days after Gabby's passing, on November 4th, they both voluntarily turned themselves into the Lafayette Parish Correctional Center. But they're not being charged with her death. Let me repeat that. They are not being charged with causing Gabriella Sharp's death. Instead, Caden Richard is charged with sexual battery, and Jaquan Pierre is charged with video voyeurism. So what does that mean? Well, according to Lafayette Police Corporal Ashley Wood, investigators discovered evidence that led to these charges. There was a video circulating on social media, a video that showed something from that night, and that video became a key piece of evidence in the investigation. The video voyeurism charge against Pierre suggests he recorded something without consent. The sexual battery charge against Richard suggests something inappropriate happened to Gabby while she was at that residence. But here's what's crucial for you to understand. Corporal Wood was very clear when she made this statement. At this point, there is no reason to believe that they had anything to do with her death. The police don't think these two guys killed Gabriella Sharp. Both men posted $15,000 bond and were released. They're facing serious charges, absolutely, but not murder. Not manslaughter. Not homicide. So if they didn't cause her death, what did? This is where things get medically complex and deeply mysterious. The preliminary autopsy findings came back, and according to the Lafayette Police Department, Gabby's cause of death was medical-related. Specifically, it involved a cardiac issue. Her heart. At 18 years old, her heart gave out. The preliminary findings suggest this was a health-related death, not a homicide. But here's the catch. The full toxicology reports and cardiopathology reports are still pending as of this recording. That means we don't have the complete picture yet. Think about what police said. Gabby's friends reported that just before she collapsed, she complained of what felt like a heart attack. Chest pain, difficulty breathing, the sensation that something was catastrophically wrong with her heart. For an 18-year-old to experience sudden cardiac arrest like this, there are usually underlying factors. It could be an undiagnosed heart condition. It could be something she was born with that nobody knew about. Or, and this is what everyone is waiting to find out, it could be related to what she consumed that night. Remember, police confirmed that there was drinking and substances involved during the evening. We don't know what exactly, we don't know how much, but we know it was part of the night. Could something she took have triggered a cardiac event? Could there have been an interaction between substances that caused her heart to stop? These are the questions that the full toxicology report will hopefully answer. But until those results come back, we're left with more questions than answers. The Lafayette Police Department has been very careful with their language throughout this investigation. They've called Gabby's death suspicious, but not a homicide. What does that mean? It means there are circumstances around her death that don't quite add up, things that make investigators pause and take a closer look. The video evidence, the fact that she was with people she had just met, the substances involved, all of it creates a picture that needs thorough investigation. But suspicious doesn't mean criminal. It doesn't mean someone killed her. It means they're being cautious and thorough. And that video we mentioned, the one circulating on social media, Corporal Wood acknowledged its existence and confirmed it's part of the investigation. That is part of the investigation currently, so I can't say too much about the video, she said. The investigators are taking that into account. What's on that video? We don't know the full details, but given the video voyeurism charge against Pierre, it's safe to assume it captured something significant from that night. Something that led to criminal charges. Something that Gabby never consented to being recorded. This brings up something really important that we need to talk about. Even though Gabby's death appears to be medical, even though police don't believe Richard and Pierre caused her death, their actions that night still have consequences. Sexual battery is a serious crime. Video voyeurism is a serious crime. If someone is unconscious or impaired and you touch them inappropriately, that's a crime. If you record someone in a private moment without their knowledge or consent, that's a crime. Just because Gabby's death was medical doesn't mean nothing bad happened to her that night. The charges against these two men suggest that Gabby was victimized before she died, and that's something that can't be ignored. The community response to Gabby's death has been overwhelming. Acadiana High School, where she was a senior, brought in counselors to help students and staff cope with the loss. The Lafayette Parish School System released a statement saying, "Our thoughts are with the family and friends of one of our students who passed away over the weekend. Counselors have been available on campus to support students and staff, and those services will continue as needed. Her classmates have been sharing photos and memories on social media, painting a picture of a girl who was genuinely loved by those around her. But alongside the grief, there's been something else spreading through Lafayette and across social media: rumors. Lots of rumors. Some people are calling this a murder. Some are speculating about what happened at that house. The problem with rumors is they spread faster than facts, and they can cause real harm to real people who are already grieving. Haley Matthews, the family friend, addressed this directly, saying there have been unsubstantiated rumors spreading about what happened to Sharp that night. The family has faced not just grief, but also the added pain of watching misinformation spread about how their daughter died. Lafayette Crime Stoppers has asked anyone with actual information about that night to come forward. Not rumors, not speculation, but real information that could help investigators understand exactly what happened. You can call them anonymously at 337-232-8477. If you know something, if you were there, if you saw something, say something. Gabby's family deserves answers. Let's talk about what we know for certain at this point in the investigation. Gabriella Sharp went out with friends on the night of October 31st going into November 1st. She met two men downtown. She went to their residence. While there, she experienced a medical emergency that felt like a heart attack. Her friend called her mother. They rushed to meet her mother at a gas station. By the time they arrived, Gabby was unresponsive. Despite the efforts of police and paramedics, she was pronounced dead at the scene at 3:40 a.m. Preliminary autopsy findings suggest her death was cardiac-related. Two men have been charged with sexual battery and video voyeurism, but are not suspected of causing her death. Full toxicology and cardiopathology reports are pending. That's what we know. Here's what we don't know: the complete cause of death. What exactly was in her system that night? What happened at that residence before the medical emergency? What's on that video that led to charges? Whether there was an underlying heart condition nobody knew about. These unknowns are what make this case so difficult for Gabby's family and for the community trying to process this tragedy. One more heartbreaking detail about Gabby's family that we need to acknowledge. Her mother had already buried one child. Gabby's younger brother died of cancer when he was just 5 years old. As Haley Matthews said, "Seeing her mom lose another child breaks my heart. No parent should have to bury one child, let alone two." The grief this family is experiencing is unimaginable. First cancer took their youngest. Now whatever happened that night took their middle child. One brother is left, and he's lost both his siblings. That's the human cost of this case that sometimes gets lost in all the speculation and investigation details. As this investigation continues, the Lafayette Police Department remains committed to finding answers. They've been transparent about what they know and what they don't know, which is honestly refreshing in a case that's generated so much public interest and speculation. They've been clear that this isn't a homicide investigation, while also acknowledging the suspicious circumstances. They've charged two men with serious crimes, while also being clear those men didn't cause Gabby's death. They're waiting on toxicology reports that could provide crucial answers about what triggered the cardiac event that took Gabby's life. Acadiana High School is planning a memorial to honor Gabby's life. Her friends and family are trying to focus on remembering who she was, not just how she died. She was the girl with the radiant smile. The girl who wanted to make people feel beautiful. The girl who had dreams and plans and a future that got cut tragically short on the concrete of a gas station parking lot at 3:40 in the morning. So what can we learn from Gabriella Sharp's case? First, that young people are vulnerable in ways we don't always see. Whether it's an undiagnosed medical condition or the risks that come with partying, 18-year-olds often feel invincible when they're actually incredibly fragile. Second, that consent matters always. The charges against Richard and Pierre remind us that taking advantage of someone who's impaired or recording them without permission is never okay, regardless of what else happens. Third, that rumors and speculation can add to a family's pain. Before you share something on social media about a case like this, ask yourself if you actually know it to be true or if you're just spreading gossip that could hurt people who are already hurting. Now let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. If Gabby did have an underlying heart condition that nobody knew about, could this tragedy have been prevented? Should schools do cardiac screenings for student athletes and all students? Are we doing enough to educate young people about the real risks of mixing substances? And here's the bigger question that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. In cases like this where someone dies in suspicious circumstances, but it's ruled medical, how do we balance getting justice for any crimes that did occur without falsely accusing people of causing a death they didn't cause? Think about Caden Richard and Jaquan Pierre for a moment. If they're guilty of the charges they're facing, they deserve to be held accountable for those crimes. But they're also facing a lifetime of people potentially blaming them for Gabby's death, even though police say they didn't cause it. Is that fair? Can they ever fully clear their names in the court of public opinion? And what about Gabby's family? If her death truly was a tragic medical event and not caused by anyone's actions, how do they find peace with that? Is it easier to grieve when you have someone to blame, or does that just make the pain more complicated? These are the questions that cases like Gabriella Sharp's force us to confront. There's no easy answer. There's no clean resolution where everything makes sense and everyone gets closure. Real life is messy and complicated, and sometimes people die for reasons that feel senseless and unfair. If you're watching this and you found Gabby's case as compelling and heartbreaking as I did, I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button to help this video reach more people who care about cases like this. Subscribe to One Crime at a Time because we cover cases with the respect and depth they deserve. And drop a comment below telling me what you think happened that night. Do you think the toxicology report will reveal something crucial? Do you think there's more to this story than we know? Let's discuss it respectfully because there's a real family grieving a real loss. If you found this case interesting, watch this next. We've covered similar cases of young people whose lives ended in mysterious circumstances, and I think you'll find those just as gripping as Gabby's story. Thanks for watching, and remember, every case we cover represents a real person whose life mattered and whose story deserves to be told with dignity. Check it out here on this channel. See you in the next one.